Hello everyone, James Donaldson here, and if you want to support us at the Contemporary Gentleman, you can buy into our Spy series, links below. And if you want to see what we're doing between videos, check us out on Instagram. Hello everyone, James Donaldson here, and in this video, gentleman's disclosure, I'm going to be talking about my home defense gun and what it is, what it has on it, and why. Stay tuned. So jumping right into the meat and potatoes, I guess I want to talk initially about the forethought that went into what my home defense gun would be and what it would have on it. So for starters, think about being at home, right? You're usually not in your most combative mindset. You're probably relaxed, probably distracted, whether it's watching Netflix or playing with your kids or whatever it is you do, dishes. Or sleeping, because a lot of break-ins happen at night. Granted, more and more happening during the day because burglars know people are armed. They want to go in when perhaps no one's at home. So, I wanted my home defense gun to be as close as possible, if not 100% identical, to my everyday gun. So, Glock 17, Gen 5, Glock 45, which is a 9mm, by the way. Well, it's technically Gen 5, but Gen 5 is the first year of this gun, so it's Gen 5. Anyway, so let's talk about them. Trigger pulls are going to be the same, right? Let's go ahead and... I safety check all guns before the videos, but it doesn't help to double up. So, basically identical triggers, and that's what I wanted. The grip, the feel, all that, all going to be identical. The weight, the same for the most part, a couple differences. So, guns, pretty much the same. I did a Glock 45 instead of another 17 because I wanted some degree of versatility, and also because I put the suppressor on it, which we'll start off talking about first. The 17 did fit in my gun safe with this suppressor on it. That said, it's a little easier with this gun. Also, if I ever want to switch out, which I may do here soon just for the sake of experimenting, but having a little shorter gun for my carry, then I can basically swap the lights, put the threaded barrel on this, put the suppressor over there, put the normal barrel on this, and go on about my day. So, the only difference is, right now, is the optics are zeroed to different ammo, which I may change, because this is going to be a close range weapon, and so sighting it in for home defense or for defensive rounds while I'm carrying, because they may go further, is probably what I'll do. Because, and then check out my holds if there is one for the ball 165 grain that I use for this. So the suppressor is a Gemtech Aurora 2. It's 3-inch. It is wiped, several wipes in it, and of course it has their neoprene wipes. Then there's, I don't remember if it's naval jelly or what they call it, but there is an ablative material, basically a gel, that helps cool the gases. So the wipes help contain the gas and slow the gas from escaping. The gel helps cool it faster, which gets rid of a lot of the sound. So this gun is still loud, okay? Understand that the smaller the suppressor, the less it's going to suppress. For the most part, that's just it across the board with all suppressors, at least right now, in terms of like suppressors, right? So you may have a smaller suppressor that suppresses better than some other big one because it uses shitty technology. That's not what I'm talking about. But the technology in this, I have a video on the suppressor alone if you want to check that out. But the goal of this is to not create hearing damage for myself, or especially my wife or children, if there's a home defense scenario. So also, blasting a gun indoors can cause disorientation. It's a time when you need your wits about you. So all the good a suppressor can do went into this decision. The other thing is, I have verified that as you shoot and the core gets shot out, as it does, when the core is fully shot out, and it's basically just extra weight on the front of the suppressor or on the front of the gun still does cycle and function. So there's no problems there. That was a big non-starter for me. If you just shot it out, then that kind of defeats the purpose of a home defense gun if you got limited rounds. May as well just use a revolver. So, moving on from there, X300 Lite, for several reasons. When I'm not using this XC1, I'm using an X300, situation dependent. And I used to only use an X300, and I just couldn't carry that way. Hats off to people who can. So, I wanted something that basically had the same use, right? You're groggy, or you're out of it, you're, again, not in your combat mindset. Muscle memory is really important to take over. So having something where you feel the trigger pull the same, as well as turning on your light, right? So that's another big part of it for X300. Also, I love that you can slide it right off, so it's easy to switch this out to a carry gun. Iron sights. So, Ameriglows, these are, shoot, I should have looked up what they were. I'll put them down below in the description. But these are basically blacked out irons, whereas my carry gun, they're the GL811s. Blacked out in the back on both these guns. This has the tritium in the front, but no highlighted circle, as you could see on like my Glock 40. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but these sights will get switched out. But these are totally iron for several reasons. I know it's only like $20 more for the other, and if I'm going to carry it, why not? But here's the thing is, it's likely this will be fired with the light on, and I'll roll in even some pictures, but a light, especially a bright one, especially when there's no other light around, it's going to black out your sights. So you can have all the most high-speed night sights you want, but you're probably not going to see them when they're backlit by a light like that. So kind of pointless to spend the money, especially when the odds are, if I'm using this, it's probably going to be at night. Someone breaks in my house during the day, I'm probably not here. Granted, my wife might use it. She's going to be focused on the red dot. So, anyway, let's get to the red dot. First of all, CHP plate, outstanding plate. It's machined well. It fits in like it was meant to be in there, probably as it is. Instructions are great for it, and goes with this Holosun 509. Absolutely great. So, getting to the Holosun 509T, I really was interested in the acro, and the problem is that I just didn't see any point when this was so much more less expensive by, like, I mean, I'm saving easily $200, probably more, by going with this, especially where I knew I was going to buy multiple because I wanted my guns to be set up the same. If you haven't seen my Glock 40 video, but it is going to be getting a Holosun 509T as well. That way I'll have 3 Glocks, same iron sights for the most part, same optics all across the board, so ease of use will be great. But 509T. I did research. Sage Dynamics. He took one to 20,000 rounds, which means, or no, 10,000 rounds, which means 20 drop tests from shoulder height onto concrete. This thing survived. It was still functioning at the end with a lot of cosmetic damage, but really zero functional damage. So why would I spend another $200 on something else? The aim point you can leave on, but this says shake awake, so it preserves the battery even more. Noteworthy is my Carry 509T. I'm coming up on, is it 2 years? No. It's at least over a year. And there's no signs of the battery wearing out, running out anytime soon. So, but I want to say I'm at least a year and a half at this point. So anyway, this sitting in there, it's mostly shut off because it just sits in my bedroom in the gun safe, and awaits being used. So the rounds that I use with it are Detroit Ammo 165 grain. I wanted something real slow, real heavy to work with the suppressor, as this suppressor is designed to work with 165 grain. I will add, I wanted a small suppressor, not a long one, because that's how this gun fits into a gun safe. So let's get into caveats and variables. There's really not much, fortunately, to this video, but threaded barrel, it's a lone wolf. I wish I'd have gone with an alpha wolf, and actually you can get factory threaded barrels from Glock, and that's what I would have done like I had for this. So I have factory Glock, 1/2x28 even, for the 17, and this, and really it's just the cosmetic damage. It runs just fine. I just feel like it's not as streamlined. The other thing I will say is, as much as I'm hot and cold on Silencer Co., my 17L has a Silencer Co. barrel in it, and it is shockingly good. It's machined incredibly well. It has shown less wear than some of my other barrels. And yeah, it's just smooth, it's impressive, runs great. But getting back to the task at hand, yeah, there's just not a lot to report on this. I mean, I chose a weapon system that was going to be very easy to use, that I'd be very familiar with. Glock's having no manual safeties. That's a big part of home defense. It's one less thing to think about in the middle of the night. And now I have to think even less about my trigger pull, my grip, and operation of the light. So you have that. Now, the only difference is this Holosun I run with the full reticle on, again, just to make things easier for close range. So it's got that like circle with the X or whatever on it. Whereas my carry gun, I just run the dot. So I think that's pretty much all I have to say about it. My perfect home defense gun would probably be some kind of carbine, likely in 45, just because less penetration and inherently subsonic. But I don't have a good safe to keep one of those in under my bed, especially while it's suppressed. So as far as just a general home defense gun, this is what I've chosen. I'll update if I ever make changes, but I probably won't. And having this like this keeps me from really changing this very much at all. So this is probably a setup people are going to see in my possession for a really long time. Magazines are inexpensive. I'm basically practicing with this gun nearly every time I practice with this gun, so I also have that going for me. Just a fun video. So, this has been James Donaldson with the Contemporary Gentleman. Until next time, keep your composure.